Yeah, we making moves. Yeah, we making moves. Yeah, we making moves. Yeah, we making moves. Yeah, we making moves.
What's goody? What's good? Welcome to the greatest podcast in the world. I am Melee.
I am JEVVLZ.
And this is the Making Moves Godcast.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
It is very hot.
It is so hot.
Yeah. This is the first episode where the weather really hit us.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for the heat though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I feel like we had a long winter.
Definitely.
You know, we're in New York, and you know, cheers. We get all the seasons. But yeah, I feel like it's been cold a long time, and we haven't really been able to get that good summer. And now we're finally starting to get it. It's like mid-June.
Yeah, because it was a lot of rain.
Yeah,
a lot of different weather. We kept saying it. This weather's bipolar, and it's finally here now.
Yeah,
what everybody's been asking for. So
I'm grateful. And I haven't been in New York in 2 summers. Like the past 2 summers, I've not been in New York.
Yeah, you said that. I was shocked, man.
So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be home. Finally.
Speaking about being places, you just
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just came back from London town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good time.
First time in Europe, it hit me like.
Yeah. I know
I thought you
be in Europe all the time, but like that was my first time in Europe. I went to visit some friends in London and celebrate Juju's birthday, and it was good, man. It was a good time.
What would you say was like your first thought? Just landing in there, like visually, like what did you see that's a little different from the States?
Definitely the architecture of the buildings, like because it really did remind me of New York, like New York City, a lot. Obviously not the skyscrapers. I think we're very unique in that. With the skyscrapers, but just the way the streets are, the way, you know, how the whole neighborhoods and everything is laid out, and even some of the buildings kind of resemble
Probably
New York.
Much cleaner though.
Much cleaner New York.
Yeah.
And the architecture is just a lot more artsy. You know, it's like real sculpting they're putting into their buildings. It's not just brick walls going up straight, you know, in angles. And it's like a lot of sculpting, a lot of statues, a lot of, you could tell like an artist, a real artist, they have like real artists working on the architecture for their buildings. So that was really interesting, and that was really dope and like eye-opening to see the difference between that in New York. But other than that, pretty much the vibe is very
That's what
similar.
I was going to ask you. Energy wise, what's the vibe?
It's hard to tell. I think New York, being in New York so long, sometimes it's like it's just whatever. It's kind of, you get used to it and kind of sort of puts a bad taste in your mouth. So anytime I'm outside of New York, everywhere is better than New York. It did feel cool vibes. Like I felt safe. I didn't feel any drama. You know, you walking around seeing the police.
Difference.
The cops don't have guns on their hips. Like just that in general is like, yo, all right, this is different. It's a different vibe. It's like, it seems very structured though. Like, you know, very structured. Like I felt scared to jaywalk. You know, I didn't want to drop a piece of gum on the floor or anything. I mean, I don't like to do that regardless, but I'm just saying, like...
I would say that about Europe. You feel like it's more like you got to follow the rules.
Yeah. It definitely felt that way. I don't know if that's what it was like, actually.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because you see everything is just very clean, in order. There's order to it. It's not chaos. Like out here, it just feels like a lot going on.
New York can definitely be chaotic, but it was a good trip. You know, we saw all of the sights to see: Big Ben, Parliament, Buckingham Palace, you know, and then we saw a Broadway show. We saw Michael Jackson Broadway show.
Loved it. Loved it.
Juju is in love with Michael Jackson right now. I'm proud.
Yes.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
It's good that she's not scared.
Yeah.
The idea of him being black and white to children, I can't even fathom that idea.
Right.
You keep telling them, no, that is Michael Jackson. Like,
But she knows, like, she'll say, like, I want old Michael Jackson. Like, and I know that she means, all right, off the wall. She want to hear off the wall. And then she's like, I want to hear da 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 dee. And I know that's Rock My World.
Yeah.
So she knows the two different Michael Jacksons. She knows the black Mike and the white Mike. So
funny.
It was good. It was good though. It was good vibes, good energy. I'm glad to have taken a break from the chaos. And speaking of chaos, it's so crazy. Like while I'm out there and I just obviously scrolling and you see on the news and bombs is dropping. And I'm like, oh my God. And there's talks of World War III. And I'm like, please wait till I get home, man. Wait till I get home before y'all kick off World War III, please. Like, please don't start no shit. Like, I'm trying to get home. I want to get home safe and sound. I don't want to be stuck anywhere. But thank goodness it didn't really. I mean, it popped off, but I thought at one point we were going to be in full-fledged war, in the middle of the trip, and
it's been going down.
Yeah, surprisingly, sometimes it's hard to gauge what's real and what's fake. But I seen something. I don't know if it's true. Like I said, with AI and everything now, I've seen that Donald Trump said that he's not in favor of World War III. He's like not with it. He's like, we got too much going on. And kudos to him for that, because this is true, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. And I hate this idea about, doing things in other countries and we don't even have our country fixed up yet. We got a lot of stuff we're trying to work through. We got this whole immigration thing going on. Our inflation rates are still high. The home ownership is still low. It's like so many things that we need to be fixed here. Let's just stop fighting, man. Like, let's just stop, man. Please. Like, let's get it together, man. Like, I don't know what it's going to take. Aliens.
It's going to take.
That's the only thing it's going to take. That's the only thing, that can stop all of this nonsense. Aliens got to come down and show us that. I hate to, it's not, I don't want to put it like, oh, we have a common enemy. Now it's the world versus aliens, but the world, it's bigger. It's bigger than the little land that we're fighting over and all this dumb nonsense that keeps tearing countries and people and colors and creeds apart. It's like silly. And religion, it's like, damn, World War III is about to start up again for religion. Or a group of religious people that want to fight these group of religious people. It's so ridiculous.
Sad part about it is innocent people are dying because they're just in between it. And prayers go out to them, because I seen a lot of video clips this week, and I said, man, just imagine that idea of living through that. That's why, like, there's been this new clip of Whoopi Goldberg talking about how like black people suffer just like the people in Iran. And I'm like, I have a love and hate relationship with that quote, because it's like, I understand, I don't understand it. Like, Iran, there's bombs being dropped and people, real death being seen. But at the same time, mentally, it feels like that, being a black person in America sometimes. It feels like it's
You're
just
under attack.
You're under attack, but one is just slower. The other one is quicker. So I understand what she means by that, because it is something to discuss and not just sweep under the rug,
Yeah. And we've not to get too deep into the semantics of it, but we've had bombs dropped on our communities too. By our own country has dropped bombs on our communities. It's crazy to think about, but yes, that has happened.
And we are going to discuss this today, because why not? It's Juneteenth.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a
we've
fact.
had bombs dropped on Tulsa and the history. You got to explain the history for me, because I understand, but I like when you have the knowledge of like Juneteenth and explain it to the people out there.
Yeah, I'm so bad with dates, and I don't want to butcher this. Can you look it up real quick just so I don't really butcher it? But I want to say that it's so we know that we had the Emancipation Proclamation, and that was supposedly supposed to free all the slaves, right? So you got to think about this time. It's not social media times. It's not, like telephone times. It's not where news is moving around the country at high rates and high speeds. So yeah, I was right. So yeah, like you got to think about during these times, it's sometimes the news takes a long time to get from one place to the other. So when the Emancipation Proclamation happens, only a certain part of the country know about the slaves being free. Yep. So it's years that go by that there's a whole other parts of the country where Black people, slaves, don't know that they're free. So even though we have one date that's set as, our date of freedom in the U.S., Juneteenth is supposed to represent the official date of when everybody finally knew. When in 1965, in 1865, where the news finally got to the last state that slaves were actually free. So you got to think about this. It's like a whole part of the country is free and living the liberties of not being slaves anymore, and then a whole other part of the country still doesn't know, and for the most part is intentional.
Yeah, intentional.
You know what I mean?
They ignore that. They don't want to know. They don't want the news to spread.
Right. They don't want the news to spread. They don't want to tell their slaves that, hey, you guys are now free now. So Juneteenth is supposed to represent the actual day of liberation for enslaved people.
Great way to explain it.
Yeah,
it does feel like, this is a holiday, a beautiful holiday that we should all celebrate as everyone, because, slavery built this country. It doesn't have to only be a thing for Black people,
right?
Because this is America. Right. This is what it was built off of, like slavery, and a lot of the things that we have today wouldn't happen, without us, Yeah. So just that lets me remember the struggle of Black people and what we go through. And it's so funny because you have this movie, this Tyler Perry movie, Shaw.
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it. Yes. Did you finish it?
I did not finish it.
I knew I should have texted you to tell you to watch it.
Yeah.
I knew I should have texted you. So how far did you get?
I got to the bank.
That's like the very beginning.
I got where she's on the phone with the people with the detectives outside.
Yeah. And
she's basically trying to explain to them that the other white officer is gonna kill her if she leaves. Before we even get into that, me personally watching this movie, I love Tyler Perry, man. I love Tyler Perry. No disrespect to Tyler Perry, but I'm a critic. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
For me, I knew it was a Tyler Perry movie before I knew it was a Tyler Perry movie.
Really? Okay.
Which is crazy. I seen that the movie was trending online. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who directed it, wrote anything about it. I just decided I seen Taraji. I'm a big fan of Taraji. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it. Throughout the movie, I can tell it was a Tyler Perry movie. And you know how this is going to be, this is real shit. The weave that was on Tiana Taylor's hair.
Okay. Yeah.
I swear on everything I love.
As soon as you see the weave or wig, it's probably a wig.
The wig, weave, whatever I seen on Tiana Taylor, I was like, this is giving me Tyler Perry-ish. That's the word I said. Yeah, Tyler Perry-ish.
This is a Tyler Perry wig.
And then I looked it up. I said, you know what? Let me see. I said, wow. That's not good, you know. And I feel like, I don't know if he does it on purpose. He still gives me that vibe of like an independent filmmaker, or like it was rushed, like or you know, because I've seen a lot of movies. Shout out to our guy Nick Barato. He's in Duplicity.
He's in Duplicity. I know he did the Oval
Duplicity
too.
Yeah, he works with Tyler Perry. So that's our guy, and I seen that movie. Love the fact he was in the movie. I loved his role, everything. You know, support our guy.
Right.
But it just gets me upset with certain things, like when he, like the ending of that. I'm gonna spoil alert. Like
Duplicity.
Yeah, she kills everybody with a flare gun. And then it's just shooting him, he drops in the water, shoot him, drop in the water, shoot him, drop in the water. It was just like, it felt like rushed to me, or just like, this movie, it felt the same. It was just like a lot that was going on at the same time, that it's like, I'm not gonna say that it can't happen in life, but it wasn't that.
It wasn't realistic. Yeah.
And then with little things like that, with the wig, and it's like, it's not hitting for me like how everybody's hitting. Like I like the cinematic piece where I just fall deep into the movie, where emotionally it brings that out, and I'm sure that it was emotionally impactful for a lot of people, because I've seen it, the ratings for it. But I think it was just a stretch for me. Like I think it was just too much. Like you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Little things.
Yeah.
And I want to say one more thing. Little things. Like the check being $500. Like I'm like trying to go into detail of like.
Yeah, it's like, I see what you're saying about it.
Very realistic. Like why doesn't she have direct deposit? Like what is she's not getting no funding, being like no, child support? I forgot the whole story. It's like, it's a lot that is not uncovered, that I need to know, why is it this bad? It don't make any sense. Yeah. Like she's talking about, I need my check. Yeah. And it's $500. Yeah. She's trying to cash the check for $500. What are we talking about?
Yeah. It's a big conversation going around with this movie. Because I think I seen one guy mention it as trauma porn. Because I think that's what he said, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
He mentioned it. He mentioned this movie as trauma porn, because it's just like exactly what you're saying. It's like, oh, like, damn, like nobody. I mean, she had one character in there that was nice to her, but like her boss, the hospital, there's the school.
Yeah, it's just
it's like nobody's giving this woman a break.
Trust me, like, there's days like that. But it was too dramatic. Nah, there's days like that. I'm pretty sure that somebody that has had a day like that, where it's nonstop, but not that dramatic, where it's like, oh, now the cop that pulled you over later is
kill you. It's like,
come on.
Yeah, that was, it's just too dramatic.
That's a little too dramatic for my taste.
Yeah. Like you hit a cop's car, he immediately rages out, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
All his movies is like that, and I think that's the artistic part of Tyler Perry, that I think he understands that. Like, I think he understands his community and his viewership, and he knows that they're gonna like that her hair is not perfect.
You think so? Okay.
No, it's like, I think it's psychology that he uses to know that, to make his mark as what type of movies he's creating. Kind of like Quentin Tarantino, when he just cuts in a scene and then rewinds the whole thing and goes back. That's Quentin Tarantino's taste, where you don't even have to see the title, but you can watch it and be like, yo, that's Quentin Tarantino. I think Tyler Perry does that with those little things that, that's like, oh, this is where people kind of hate it. People talk crap about it, but they'll still watch it. And I think that's the genius behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that thing with the wig and stuff like that, because you would think that he's hiring black people, right? And then if he's hiring black people, Is he hiring old black women who don't understand how the new hairstyles are looking? I couldn't imagine that. I feel like
it was like
hiring,
too obvious, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's hiring. I don't know, but I would think that he's hiring young hip black women who are gonna make a good hairstyle for this young hip black woman. And it's
or
like,
make it more natural. Maybe he's thinking she's an FBI agent. She don't have time for that, or maybe he's thinking so deep about it. But it's little things like that is just like get Tyler Perry-ish to me. It's like the little. I'm not gonna call it corny. The little like quirky. I don't know. I don't want to call it corny.
It's kind of unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that.
Tubi movie.
It's like you're watching a Tubi movie. It's like you're watching a Lifetime. But I think his genius knows that. I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't
My
get
opinion, because I think it's so obvious that it's like it reminds you of a Tubi movie. It really does. It reminds you of a Lifetime movie, like when they do with certain things, how it moves. Like it's like she just hit him over the head with a trash can and he died. It's like don't.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the mentality behind some of the things. Even that movie, like I said, with that, it was like very dramatic. It was very like,
But you said a good point when you was talking about like the trauma of porn.
Yeah.
Why does he feel the need to make more of those movies where it's like, because they were saying in the sense of like he feeds off of, creates off of black women's trauma or something like that. It's Juneteenth. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen a lot of different things about that. I know one woman was saying like, she would like, she made a great point. She was like, where's like the black version of Legally Blonde? Like, like where's our rom-coms? I know we have a couple, but it's like, we don't have enough of this. Everything is like black trauma, black hurt, black pain, slavery. It's like where's our of course we have comedies and stuff, but it's like, where's our good love stories, or like
rom-com,
or like our buddy cop films or something like that, like we don't have enough movies like that where it's like represents black people in different ways other than being traumatic, going through hardship, being in the hood, being ghetto. It's like we need to elevate above that. We got to find a way to really elevate above that.
Less of the trauma stuff,
What's up? It's the JEVVLZ. You are here at the Making Moves podcast. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what moves that you've been making recently. Let's make moves.
Why don't we band together? Tim, you are so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You are so powerful. You have a voice. You have a platform. Why can't we band together to make things fair? There's a responsibility that we need to understand. That if we want music to stay original and human and real and soulful, we cannot continue to condone this. We are diluting music. We are cheapening music. I know you don't agree with me with this. And that's why we need to figure out regulation.
So what do you suggest?
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, but I know that if my music is going to be used, I better know that it's being
True.
Train the model.
Huh?
Get compensated for it.
I'm going to be compensated for it.
And that's very interesting, that clip, because we actually had this conversation. Shout out to my guy, Shot of Adrenaline, and Alma for the NSR Music Con. I did that this weekend, and I was actually on a panel. And they asked us that conversation about like AI and how detrimental is it going to be to music, and is it? And honestly, I gave my opinion and everybody was shocked. I said, I think we should embrace technology. I know that's surprising because I'm an artist like myself, and the idea of not making music authentically, to me, it sounds crazy. But we always make this mistake of not embracing new technology. And I brought up the idea of auto-tunes. When auto-tunes came out, everybody like, no, it's not real singing. It's not real singing. Oh, this will never work. The death of auto-tunes, auto-tunes. Now everybody use auto-tunes. Even the real singers, they use the auto-tunes. It may not be that much, but everybody's using auto-tunes. So I think when it comes to technology, you should embrace it and not necessarily stray away from it. You know, we evolve as people, and I think the music is evolving to make us start creating more creative ideas where we can use AI too, or not use AI. It can build the idea that anti-AI. You know, I told them that. I said, just us doing this convention right here is anti-AI. It gives us more opportunities for people who are like-minded, who are not with the AI. So I say embrace it, you know?
Timberland is going to love to hear you say that. Timberland is getting roasted right now. People are coming for him because he started an AI label. He has I don't even really understand how this works, but he signed an AI artist, and he's thinking about doing a whole bunch of things in AI music. I know a couple years ago we saw him like create like a Biggie track, and it was, I ain't even gonna lie, it was fire. It was low-key fire. I was like,
yeah, I remember hearing that.
This sounds fire. But it was scary because it's Biggie, who has been dead for a long time. He obviously didn't write the verse. It sounds like him. It has the feel like him. And you know,
well, what's this idea of him stealing music though?
So I don't know exactly how this app works, but he's working with the AI music creation app called Suno, which fuck that, man, because I mean, to be honest, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how the app works. Sorry. We outside.
We outside. We making moves. Someone else making moves right now.
But I say fuck them because I seen a clip of the CEO of the company saying, "Oh, artists don't really like to make music anymore, so we're just gonna have AI do it." You know, artists are tired of learning how to play instruments and stuff. It's like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Stupid.
Why would artists don't force themselves to create music? Artists create music because it's art. It literally makes no sense. It's like people, of course, there's a slew of people who are making music just for the money sake of it. But most people who are creating art in general, it doesn't have to be just music, do it for the love of it. I don't know anybody who's making music and they don't like it. Everybody who's making music enjoys the process, enjoys writing, enjoys playing that instrument, enjoys learning that instrument, enjoys making mistakes, enjoys having, you know, a good track, a bad track. Like, we enjoy this process. For somebody to say, oh yeah, we're going to have AI do it because nobody likes doing it anyway, it's fucking dumb. And it's just a cop-out for you to sell your company and do bullshit. So that's one standpoint. With Timberland, I understand what he's doing. And I low-key, I kind of agree with you. I'm kind of up in the air about this. On one end, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I believe that there's some validity and some truth to it. On the other end, it's scary because it's like,
believe it.
Yo, people, are we getting to the point now where we're taking the soul out of music. We're taking the thing of what make music special. Like somebody like Prince, who learned how to play multiple
We've been
instruments.
doing that for years.
I get it.
We've been doing it for years. You think of the idea of copy and pasting stuff. That didn't exist. You had to do one take. We've done that. We've recorded the songs where we have to do one take. There's no copy and paste and edit this and then use Melodyne to do that.
But it's still you creating the performance.
And I believe that's going to be the same thing with AI.
Nah, the way it's happening now, like you look at, like I said, I mentioned the Biggie track. There's nobody creating that performance. They punch some numbers, put a prompt in, and that's what came out. Yes, maybe, I don't know if Timberland made that beat. Maybe he did, but the way the AI is going, it's like, you don't even have to make the beat no more. You enter some text, You tell them what you're looking for. You tell them the feel they're looking for, and they
But that
print
will
you out
never,
something.
that will never, I don't think it can never, and this is what I said at the music
Let
con.
me see.
It will never replace the soul because it has that, we're here in person. Those,
Yeah, but what if you don't know the difference? When a song comes on the radio, you don't know that that song was made by AI.
No, but I'm saying it gives us the opportunity to do more things in person. And
Like
now
what?
be originators where when you create, you can only hear the song when you're here. Right in front of me performing it like how it was back then. Sometimes this may be the idea
I'm
of
confused
us,
about what you're saying.
this may be the idea of us going backwards into where now we don't put out stuff for technology to grab. In order for you to hear the song, you have to see it in person.
But how does AI?
Because
how does the AI fit
artificial
in with that?
intelligence is, when I think of them stealing music, let's say you have your song online already.
Mhm.
Now AI is taking from your song and putting it into their song and creating their song. That's what I thought when he meant stealing, because artificial intelligence is doing it already. When they find answers, they go on the net, they surf the net, they find certain things through the base of tech knowledge that we have.
Right.
So if you're not putting your music in that knowledge, now it can become more special where maybe it has to be something tangible for AI not to be able to grab that.
But this is the scary part, right? So say right. People, your music is out there. AI is now taking information from all these different places and creating stuff.
Yeah.
So say they take a sound, a
From
very
yours.
specific sound that you have, not even just an instrument, but your genre, your style of sound. They take your sound and recreate a song like that. You're the creator of that sound. Now somebody else who just punched some prompts in is taking your whole sound, your whole idea, and they're making their profit off of it. That nigga is not a musician, not an artist in no type of way. He's a freaking nerd, a geek, a CEO sitting behind a keyboard, punching numbers and just saying, I'm going to make the next hit song.
But that's
and he
when
takes your sound to do that.
But that's when
and you
I
don't
take
get nothing from
take it even further. There still is a difference between Michael Jackson in real life and Michael Jackson AI. There's still a difference between Tupac AI and Tupac real life. We know the difference. We feel the difference. We feel it. I don't think you could replace that because it's whatever you believe. If you believe that, like, I don't feel like we can be originated even from AI. That's how I feel. When in there's certain people you have that. If you have it, you have it. Because you either got it or you don't.
But you know why? And I agree with you. You feel that. I feel that, right? I can look at something and tell that it's AI, or listen to something and be like, oh, something's weird about this, and maybe tell it's AI. But what about the people who don't know what the real Tupac sound like? Who don't know what the real Michael Jackson looks like? Those kids are going to grow up and think that the AI is the real shit. It's literally becoming the Matrix.
It's technology.
We're not going to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake.
I don't think we should stray away from it. Because
I don't think we should stray away from it. We
and the
need
reason
to
why
find a middle ground. We need to find where it doesn't just take over.
But that's where we need you guys and us, people like us, to start creating ideas. I was telling them that. I said, what creates longevity is the experience. AI can't recreate an experience of how you heard a certain song from that artist. And I think it gives us the opportunity to boost up now ticket sales and stuff like that. Because now we have to start creating these ideas where AI cannot be creating experiences.
Because AI can't really create experiences. They can create ideas. They can create, things that are intangible. But they can't create tangible things.
And that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. AI sucks. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine being a teacher now, knowing that AI is out there, because you need to write an essay, you need to write anything, you got it there. But now they have to think of creative ways to know that, yo, you didn't use AI
to create this.
You know what? You have to write the essay here.
And you
Right.
only can edit the essay here, and we have to keep handing the paper back and forth. It gives us an idea for us to evolve as human beings to find a new way, because that's the ability that we have as human beings.
Yeah.
We adapt and we evolve. So
And I hear you in an instance, in a way, like, because I think this gives the opportunity for us, like you said, to create experiences, and kind of like, to me, it seems like the route that it may go is that musicians might be more so rare, because
It
now
would be
everything
so
is
rare.
everything's electronic, right? Everything's AI created. To go see a musician is like, wow, he's actually playing the keyboard.
and it
Know what I
takes
mean?
somebody
It might
big. If Drake say, you know, I'm not dropping my music online anymore. First of all, he has enough money right now to
I
do
was
whatever
gonna talk about that
he wants
too
to
with
do.
the GTA thing. But go ahead.
You drop enough money, you say, you know what? You can only see my music live. I'm no longer putting it like, how
Yeah. I mean,
for
they ain't
somebody
gonna do
like
that
him,
shit, but-
I'm saying for somebody like him, like, you know, you about to finish your last album with your record
Yeah.
label and stuff like that. You can make it an experience where it's like, it's not no need for technology. Now you got to come and see me if you want to hear this album. And that's what people like Kanye has done. You know, the Donda album just dropped, but he literally dropped the music on his invention. That and
Audio thing.
Listen, you drop it later, but if you want to experience, I think we shouldn't stray away from it.
I hear
know?
you, and I think that is
Because it's fair. At the end of the day, it's fair of you not believing in yourself that AI can't stop you. You know, you shouldn't believe that AI is going to stop you. I understand that young lady and how she feels, because it's taking money out of a lot of people's pocket. But but it has been going like that already.
Yeah.
You talked about the Spotify, and I wanted you to say what you said about this CEO of Spotify, because
fucking asshole.
but it's bigger. What you said with the idea of rappers, you beef with another rapper,
Right.
But you won't even beef with the CEO of Spotify,
Right.
who's robbing you.
Nah, it's beef. It's on site for me. Yeah, it's on site for me because that idea is crazy. Like, yo, this guy's robbing us, man. He's robbing us, and there's a lot of people that's robbing us right in front of our faces, and we let that slide, but we won't let the dude who stepped on our shoe slide. We kill that nigga, but we won't let the CEO who's taking $1 million out of our communities, out of our hands as artists. We let that guy slide, and we kill our brother right next door, right next to us, because we feel like he's more tangible. Nah, it's let it be on site for the CEO, and I don't want to put harm or danger on anybody.
We're not talking about harm,
But like,
we're talking about just
we got a problem with him.
Expressiveness.
We got a problem with him. We got a real problem with people like that who are taking advantage of artists, and then that's what it is. Because it's one thing to say, hey, we're creating this new thing, and we don't know how it's gonna work. I can kind of feel that way about AI, even the AI guy. Like, we don't know how this is gonna work, but you know how the streaming thing works. You know that you're making billions of dollars off of the backs of artists, also off of streaming. And you won't give us our due. It's like, all right, bro, come on.
Yo, we can talk about it. We can keep talking about it, but there has to be some action. And our action right now is us talking to you right now. We need to start a movement, whether it means where we let even the bigger artists understand that we are taking complete control on where this is going. If you stop putting streams on these big artists and start putting it towards the small guys, to let us know that we need to start getting paid for this stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes the big artists sometimes, because they don't care. It seems like they don't really care about it, because if you start getting people like Drake and Kendrick and people to stop using these platforms, they will figure out a way to get people paid. Stop putting their music on that stuff. But they're not gonna do that. So what is the next step? You know what? Stop listening to that person on Spotify. Let their numbers get so low where it becomes something that's relevant to them.
And they have to take another route.
They have to take another route, or they have to, speak with the Spotify CEO like, yo, nah, this ain't enough. I'm not even gonna put my music on there because it ain't enough.
Yeah. People are boycotting Spotify. It's like, all right, like it's making.
And I get
sense
as the
for me to put it.
consumer, you don't care, but I'm saying for other artists who do care, stop putting up their streams. Stop putting up the streams of these bigger artists.
Yeah.
You know, let it be such an impact on them where they have to go down to the bottom and see what's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now the new thing, the streamers is bigger than rappers, man.
Yeah.
Streamers is getting direct to consumer. They're dropping $100. They're dropping a lot of money right there, direct to consumer. How can we figure out to do that with music?
Right. That's I think you got some great ideas. I don't want to put them all out here. Obviously, we're working on them, but you have a lot of great ideas that comes with that, and we will be putting them.
And that's
to
just on the
fruition
spot.
soon.
We could be gatekeeping and try to create an idea to make a lot of money, but I'm putting it out there for even the people who hear this podcast right now and think of a greater idea. Because maybe you think of a greater idea that can all get us all paid. I don't need the credit for it. Just work on the idea and let me reap the benefits of the idea that you create. Because we have to think a little further and just stop falling right into place, man. I'm for the first time, I'm a little envious of the streamers, these young streamers and these guys. And I'm not a jealous guy, or I don't even like to use that term, envy. But I'm calling it what it is. A spade is a spade. I'm watching the streams and I'm like,
damn, I wish that was me.
Nah, not them. I don't want to be them. But I'm saying, damn, they making hella bread right now.
Yeah, doing nothing.
And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of adults who's busting their ass, 9 to 5 working, and they happen to run on TikTok and see these young boys.
I seen this article that's saying that I seen this
making way more money than you make in a year.
Yeah, I seen this article that's saying that Gen Z is the richest generation.
It's embarrassing.
Will become the richest generation if they're not already. And it's like, I'm like, damn, like richer than the millennials and the baby boomers. It's like, damn, what are we doing wrong? But it's just that thing. It's internet though. Like they have the full understanding of internet because they were born in it. We weren't born in the internet age.
They're fearless.
That too.
That's the youth. When you're young,
that too, because we weren't exposed to the whole entire world in one blip. They are exposed to the whole entire world in the palm of their hand. We are learning that as we go because we weren't raised with that. Like as crazy as it sounds, I know we're dating ourselves, but we weren't raised with having the entire world in the palm of our hand. So even though we have it now, we're trying to understand it. We're trying to learn it. We're trying to get it right. And that's why even this podcast was created, so that we can, we don't get lost in the sauce. We're really trying to stay.
Be ONs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I'm unk. I'm according to the rubric.
Unk.
Well, you might be unk. You might be whatever, but according to the chart that somebody made.
Oh, that's the chart.
It's an actual chart that they made. And I don't think you're unk yet. You might still be.
No, I'm just saying because I'm really an uncle.
But there's literally age chart that separates the ages in the title. So, but yeah, we're trying to figure this out. So I think that's why the Gen Z is making more money than.
But I credit to all of them, man. I watch this stuff and I'm highly entertained, and I know. I love the idea of these guys, these young, a lot in minorities too. I love the idea that it's young black men that's making bread, man. Keep doing it, and I hope you guys stay out of trouble. That's what I be hoping for. When I see a lot of this, I'll be like, I hope nobody just, next thing you know, you hear somebody get shot or something. Right. But it's evolving. And what do you think is next after
streaming?
That's hard to predict.
I think we are heading towards the Matrix. That's it. We are heading towards the Matrix.
Virtual.
We're gonna be in the Matrix. Yeah. And I know we mentioned before about the only thing that AI doesn't have is physical, but they got haptic suits now. So you can literally put on a whole entire suit.
I think you just creating an idea that
low key, I would want to cut out this podcast because it's brilliant. Like, seriously.
No, it's
if
going to happen.
Imagine you doing virtual reality of someone's stream. So now you're literally walking with them as they're streaming.
See, that's far ahead. I wasn't even thinking like that.
I thought that's what you were saying.
Far ahead. I mean, yes, in a sense.
Imagine
in a sense.
you because the camera is you. Now you're taking that person with you. So, yo, come with me. You in this, you literally gonna be in the stream
because it's AI. I mean, it's AR, augmented reality. You are in the thing. You are in the game, in the whatever.
We need to figure that out.
In the computer.
We saying it now on the Making Moves podcast. The first to create it, Melee and JEVVLZ. We created.
No, they had something like that. Remember, Facebook was trying to do some
the
meta thing where you're in the same room with the person and all of that. They was pushing, but the technology is not fully there yet. But that's where we are heading. That is what's next. We are heading to become vegetables, basically. We're gonna become computers. We're gonna put it's literally gonna be like the Matrix.
Yeah,
we're gonna put the headset on, we're gonna plug in the back of our heads, and we're gonna sit down and be living our lives through the computers, through the internet.
Well, we're kind of doing it with GTA.
GTA, man. GTA is a big step, and it's crazy. I don't think anybody would think that games would be the way in.
I've been trying to explain it to certain
video
people.
Video games is the way in.
They don't get it. They don't get it. Like, yo, the video games
you haven't played it.
You're living in real life. It's like Sims on crack. You know?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. I'm definitely getting that PS5.
Yeah, we will be on that.
Yeah, we're gonna be on that.
Probably will be doing the podcast in the game.
yeah, because Drake is having a radio station on GTA, and they were saying that he's gonna be able to play music like it's a radio station. Like if you ever played the old GTA, you would know that it's basically just on a loop. You're listening to the same songs over and over. But I seen somebody talking about, I think it was Jermaine Dupri. He was talking about having Drake is going to have a radio station where he can play any song he wants. Wow. So and like you were saying, finding specific ways to introduce your music. Now Drake can have. We might be giving him this idea.
Yeah.
He might not even have this idea. But imagine
Drake. If you
Drake
had this
playing,
just give us a couple.
You need to cut us a check.
Just a little something.
But imagine Drake playing an unreleased song, an unreleased album that you can only listen to while you're playing GTA. You're playing GTA. The only way you can hear this album is if you play the game. One, PlayStation, Sony is going to cut him a crazy check because imagine how many people are going to flood if you don't have a PS5, you're going to buy the PS5, you're going to buy the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Rockstar got to pay him, Sony got to pay him. If Drake is on that type of time, Drake is the truth, man. Drake is the truth. And I obviously, I don't think it's him coming up with these ideas,
I mean,
but people are aligning him with these ideas.
We're going to the future with this. You just made me think of something even deeper, man. Imagine Timberland's AI artist. You will see her perform in the game. You can only see her perform in the game.
Right. Like like Travis Scott did in Fortnite.
She's virtually, you can only see her. You know? Like, and this is amazing. I'm not going to stray away from that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I mean, listen, if we don't go with the times, it sucks for us and it sucks for those who are not willing to do the work to learn about AI, to learn about artificial chat GPT and whatever these other creation apps for these ideas. It sucks for those people who are not privy to it and not willing to do that, because that is where it's going to go. And it's like almost like the younger generation, they don't know anything else. So that's what it's going to become. We can fight for it and we're going to do our things and make sure that we stay true to doing our thing as real artists, as real musicians, as real creators. But the young people are going to take it over. The young people are going to see that the internet, as we kind of did when the internet came about, we're going to see that the internet is the way, the internet is the wave, and they're going to use that to do everything. everything. Create music, create art, to create money, to do their jobs, everything. And we're just going to be the old people yelling at clouds. Like, if you're not that person who's going to evolve with it, you're going to be old man yelling at clouds. So, like, we got to get with the times.
Get
Or
with
not.
the times.
Or not. Okay, so we got a couple questions. Some are anonymous. We do have a couple that people have asked, and I'll give you a shout out. So first question is, when was the first time y'all performed, and what was it like being in front of people on stage? Let's start off with that.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we performed, I believe I was, 6 years old or 7 years old. I know it was around then. And we were performing, and it was our cousin Corey. Shout out to Corey Thomas Davis, R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
To the GOAT,
Rest in
our
power.
OG. And basically, he was the one who kind of introduced us into the idea of rapping and being, rappers. So we first started at Suffolk Community College. Yeah. That was our first performance. We were doing it before, and then I don't even know, how did this come about? Like, I know it was
first performance.
Corey, he was in Suffolk Community College, and he basically wanted his cousins to perform with him. Yeah. And
shout out to Professor Daniels at Suffolk Community College.
Tara.
Yeah, Tara. Much love. Yeah. But yeah, it was a Kwanzaa show.
It was a Kwanzaa
show that yeah, they were doing that. They do every year at Suffolk Community College. I hope they still do it. It's a great show. So they did this Kwanzaa show every year, and we were before then already creating music, but we never performed. So we've been recording music to tape, literally to cassette tape. We've been recording music on cassette tape at this time, and we were just creating whatever our favorite rapper, our favorite beat we can find. We would literally grab our microphones, have this little tape recorder, and then we would have to do it one take. This is like old school way. We would have to, hand each other the mic, and the beat would be playing in the background, and we'd just be rapping over the beat and passing the mic around, and you got to do it one take. I was always at the end because I always messed up my verse. So they always put me at the end because, if I messed up my verse at the end, whatever. But if you mess up, in the beginning, it sucks. So,
first performance.
Yeah. So the first performance was after we'd been recording all these songs. Like, my cousin Corey went to this community college. He was like, yo, they got this showcase. I want you guys to come out, perform. And yeah, we did it, man. We did it.
What was your first feel? How did you feel? I know me, I was just fearless because I was a kid during that time. I was used to doing little dances at the weddings and stuff already, like doing Michael Jackson. Like I think that was my whole idea of not being fearful, because y'all would hype me up as the youngest in general with just being Michael Jackson. That was what I was known for. Always dancing, doing Michael Jackson at the weddings and parties. So I didn't care.
Speak for yourself. I was nervous as heck, man. I was nervous as heck. I remember not I would always look down.
Yeah, he was known rapping. For that. He was in the beginning.
They would always tell me, look up, look up. I would always look down and just be like, I don't even know. Like, and like, I was coming into puberty at that time, so my voice was cracking. It was definitely a strange time for me. I think I was like 11, 12, something like that. So I was coming into, myself and my voice. And I was a nervous wreck for a long time performing. So it's crazy to see how I evolved into like the most energetic, like hyper, I'll jump on the table, wild out type performer now. But when I first started, I was a nervous wreck. And even I just been like the shy kid for a lot of my life anyway. But at that time, it was nerve wracking. So I was a nervous wreck being on stage for the first time. Yeah. Okay, so next question is, my man liked another woman's IG pic. I literally seen him do it while we were at the movies. which is crazy. I told him you cheated on me. He disagreed because he has never met her. Do y'all think this is considered cheating? Wow. Okay.
Is
Liking
another woman's post. Now
cheating.
I have two perspectives from this. I think liking another woman's post is definitely cheating.
Okay.
But at the same time, does that mean liking another celebrity's post is cheating? Like, if you like Rihanna as an artist,
You see?
are you cheating?
That's why it ain't cheating. I don't think it's cheating.
That's not cheating. But, all right, the idea of it's not an artist. We're not going to put artist or celebrity.
Right.
Or the idea
Some
of
girl
liking
around the
some
way.
girl around the way's photo. Is that cheating for you?
No.
Now, why?
Because it's not reality. I don't think it's reality. I don't think, liking somebody's post, it's Instagram, it's fake, it's not real life. Like, we got to separate social media from real life. There's certain things that you can do on social media, which I consider cheating. Entertaining people, going back and forth in the DMs and all of that. I consider that cheating. But liking somebody's picture that you never met, no, I don't consider it cheating. I think maybe there's a degree to it. If
I was
you
just
like
about to say that.
20 pictures, you're trying to get her attention, you're liking mad pictures, and it's like, all right, now you're doing something. But if you like somebody's picture, hey, I liked her outfit, hey, she got some big ass titties, you like the picture, I don't think that's cheating.
Now, I'm going to have to agree and disagree at the same time. I agree. I don't think it's necessarily cheating, but I think it's disrespectful. I don't think we can ignore the idea of why some people like certain photos of people. Like, the idea of you're liking that person's photo, maybe wanting to get their attention, but you said it to a certain degree. Maybe it's you're liking too many photos. You're liking a lot of that person's photos. All right. You're
trying to get their attention.
For us, I've never considered it cheating because we're artists.
Right.
We're musicians. We are people who connect and network with people on social media. So right. I've been in a place where, like, we were on TV and I will like a fan's thing because just to show them that I see you. I see you. Mm-hmm. And I have done that plenty of times. Like, if you follow me, I'll just like your stuff, and I don't even necessarily have to like it. Like, I'm trying to figure out the algorithm of Instagram and build more of a following. So I think as a business owner or a musician or something that deals with business, I don't think it's necessarily cheating. But at the end of the day, how would I feel if my woman was liking another man's post? That's the real
Ashton Hall, and she was liking Ashton Hall.
Yeah, I'm not digging that. That's why I can't be a hypocrite too. I can't be a hypocrite. I get it, but cheating, I think that's extreme. Definitely not cheating.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you.
All right.
Okay. All right. So this is from
Mr. Drummond.
This is from Mr. Drummond. Much love, Mr. Drummond. We appreciate you.
Bless. That's my guy.
You two have been You two have been on one of the biggest stages before. Can you speak on the importance of staying true to yourself and grounded through success, especially when fame brings pressure, changing expectations from those closest to you, and the dark side of the spotlight that people don't always see? That's a deep.
That's a profound.
Yeah, a deep brother, and a very deep question.
That's a deep question.
So, the importance of staying true to yourself. We had this conversation. I forgot which episode.
Nola's podcast.
We did. Yes, we did. Which episode is coming up? We featured on the Nola Road Experience podcast, and that episode should be coming out soon. And she will also be featured on our podcast, so look out for that. But yes, we did have that conversation on there. But another episode of this podcast, we were talking about, you know, staying true to yourself and how like certain things that may be considered failure wasn't really failure. And it's like that, it comes to end of the day, man. Like, especially this month, man. This month is Men's Mental Health Month. We gotta keep promoting that and saying that again. This month is Men's Mental Health Month, right? And so easily can we forget and we get lost in doing what we think is right, what we think will make the money, what we think will make us happy, and we forget about what makes us happy, or our true selves, or what we feel like is important.
Being spiritually, you know?
Yeah, so that's what you gotta focus on at the end of the day. You got to think about, when you go to sleep at night, can you live with the decisions that you made in that day? That you can literally ask yourself those questions. When you go to sleep at night, can you live with the decisions that you made throughout that day, throughout that week, throughout that month, throughout the year? If you feel like, I can't live with myself with this decision, then don't make it. Because, people are out here offering themselves who are not able to live with the decisions that they made, and they're taking their lives. And it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
I mean, I tell you, I had my experience in Germany when they tried to make me the Lil Nas X of Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I had to ask myself, how would my family take this? Even though I wasn't going to do it regardless. But just that whole idea of, what if you were to do it, how would my family take this? How would the people that respect and love me for who I truly am will take this? The idea of you selling your soul for what? Fame? Money? Because at the end of the day, it's your soul. If you cannot be able to sleep with yourself at night in the decisions that you made in life, that's the spirit, that's the soul. And if you're not comfortable with who you are in the mirror, then what's the whole idea of doing it? And I think that's what's always kept us on track when we were on TV. And it just don't fit, and it don't fit with the soul. You get the idea of intuition. Intuition comes, and then you're like, nah, this don't sit right in my gut, And that's the whole idea that kept us ready for anything and not willing to do anything. Because if you're willing to do anything, then that means what's the quote? If you stand for nothing, you're willing to
fall for anything.
If
you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So, yeah, man, that goes definitely into the dark side of stuff. It's like, it definitely is it's a big dark side, especially in this industry, in the entertainment industry, because your whole thing is to make entertain, make other people happy, make other people feel good, and sometimes you forget about yourself. So we were talking about that earlier, like with Robin Williams, and I don't know that guy.
Oh no, Jason Frank.
Yeah, the guy who played Tommy on Power Rangers. Yeah. Two men who brought joy in our lives. And they decided that, their specific lives wasn't good enough for them to live. And that's crazy. It's like, no, man, you gotta take care of yourself. Like, yes, making people happy, entertaining others is important. It's cool. It's great. But you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And when those when that dark times come, those are the things you hold on to. All right, how can I sleep at night? Am I going to be okay with that? Forget about everything else. Drown out all the noise and just focus on like, hey, can I sleep with myself with this decision? Can I sleep with myself? Can I live with myself with making these choices? And if you feel like you can't, then don't make it. All right.
Now, I think I want to show you a clip because it is still Juneteenth.
Okay.
And we had this conversation on the last episode about black men versus black women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the perfect time to bring up this discussion.
Okay.
So let me roll this clip for you.
Turn the narrative on black family,
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, to my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women. And it's not a cool, they're not creating homes. They're creating babies everywhere. It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful black men, to be, you have to set an example.
Yeah, okay, Michelle, thank you. Obviously, you could tell she's somebody who's experienced a lot of trauma in relationships. I can just tell by listening to her with black men. And we actually had this conversation, was it last episode?
Last episode.
When we were talking about it's black women who are destroying the black family.
No, we didn't say black women destroying the black family. We said I understand. We said woman holds the standards, and we basically were uplifting and saying that women have the power to change the narrative of this black woman versus black men debate.
Right.
I think women hold the standards. I think y'all have the power because what y'all willing to accept is what we're willing to give. If you stop wanting the bullshit, I'm trying to not be vulgar.
Go ahead.
Negroes.
Yeah.
Pants hanging off their ass and
yeah, right.
You know, like, or
you stop entertaining those dudes that she's talking about.
Stop entertaining them. Let the standard be, you have to wear a suit in order to take me out on a date. Like I said in the last episode, this world revolves around pussy and money. And it's not like, oh, men are focused on that. No, I said the idea of pussy is the idea of a woman starting a family and creating that man's legacy. So we work hard to get a woman. So it's not really pussy. I'm just using that term. But y'all have that power. The power is in the pussy.
You have what we want, and it's not so much the pussy, it's the opportunity to create legacy.
The opportunity to create legacy.
Yeah, through
so
our
when
children.
We hear that, I'm not being ignorant about that. Oh, pussy. No, there's a lot of people who go, pussy.
White pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, yellow pussy, we got hot pussy, cold pussy, we got wet pussy, we got smelly pussy.
But it's not about that. It's about the legacy that you can hold. So we work hard. We get money. We're not getting money for us. You get money for the woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if men didn't care about women, a lot of men would be broke. They don't give a damn. They can eat ramen noodles and be good. No, they want to show off and look good to get women. You want to be an alpha male. You want women to attract women to attract your legacy because that's all we have.
Yeah. I
think it's up to women to stop accepting the bullshit in order for men to start being, you know what? I gotta have a degree in order to get a woman. I have to I could be a scammer, get money, have all this jewelry on me, and because I'm paying for your bills, I'm good in a sense, you know? Like that's you who holds that standard. Y'all hold that standard. I think if y'all change the narrative of what type of man you want or what you're willing to accept, and it goes hand in hand within the music too. Like the idea of six-figure, there's a lot of people who make bread, but are they making it the right way? Are the idea that he has bread, you just love him because and not to knock anybody's hustle, yo, do you feel me? But you're trying to figure out why black men are creating babies and not staying, you know? Yeah, accept it. The guy could be having a baby mama and 3 different baby mamas and you still rock with him. Why? Because he got VVS diamonds, you know? So it's up to women. And I think, and the reason why I say this too is even with the love and hip hop shit. I always bring that up as an example. It depicts what type of woman, black woman, and what black women want, because I see a lot of black women watch love and hip hop. They love the idea of their man being disrespectful, and you see that all over the show. You see it in the jail. I used to work in the jail. That's what the guys is watching. Guys is watching love and hip hop because they're seeing baddies, but that's what the guys is watching, because they want to see a stitch of a woman. They like, I need to see a woman, and this is what y'all depicting. This is the type of men that y'all want. Hustlers, gangster, gritty. You see it on Pop the Balloon. I love watching that show. Oh, he's still soft-spoken. He's this. But you'll go for that guy because he's 6 feet.
6'6".
It's up to men, too. It's up to men, too. I'm not going to just only put it on women. It's up to men, too. But I know women hold the power to what is acceptable. That guy got foam posits back in the day or whatever, brand new sneakers, because he wanted to impress the girl.
Right.
You know?
So my perspective of this is 69% of divorces are initiated by women. So anytime you think about statistics, right, you think if it's over 50%, then it's a lot. So over 50%, almost 70% of women initiate divorces. Now I don't know what percentage of that is black women, but you just think like, all right, if 70% of women are initiating divorces, that's not to say that it's the woman's fault, but it is to say that they're initiating the divorces, right? So it just puts the question out there. Are they initiating divorces because the men are bad? The men are not good enough. They're not living up to the standard of whatever the woman says. Either way, to be honest, I believe that that's the fault, your fault, because you chose that. You walk. It's like a lot of on Pop the Balloon. A lot of men don't go for women with kids because they're like, you chose that man. You chose that situation. It doesn't matter if you had a kid with that person. You chose that situation. And it's the same thing for me. Any situation I'm in, I can take accountability and say, I can blame the other person all I want, but I know that I chose to be with that person. I chose that, right? So you got to think of it like that. So if we're saying that 70% of women are initiating the divorces, right? Does that really put it on the man who's breaking up that family now? And and just like how I can tell K. Michelle was speaking from her personal experience, once again, I can speak from that personal experience. I know in my situations, a lot of relationships I've been in, it's the woman who decided to opt out of the relationship. It's the women who decided that they wanted to do something else. They wanted to have fun. And I can say that, oh, it's my fault and everything. And yes, I can take accountability for some things. But if I'm in a relationship with a person and they decide that they don't want to be in a relationship and then they backtrack and come back, then what does that tell me? That tells me that they made a selfish decision at that moment. They regretted it and they decided to backtrack. I feel like that's a lot of relationships. And that's what a lot of women are doing. They make emotional decisions at moments, and then they turn around and say, oh, my bad. Nah, I didn't mean to do that. I'm already down the block.
That's a great segue into this next clip I wanted to show you.
But she's like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just letting you know that I'm still feeling these emotions, and you're hitting me with logic, but sometimes you got to take the logic away and just be able to sit and hear me and be able to hear my emotions and meet me with emotions and not meet me with logic.
So I hear him, or I hear her on the give me logic with emotion, because I hear it, right? You come to me with logical things all the time, but I don't want to hear that because I'm in my emotion right now. I'm feeling whatever it is I'm feeling, and I want to live in that. And then you come and tell me why this isn't going to work, or it's not the best decision. And it does sound like an order or a command, and I have no room for emotion in that. So I get that part. And I do agree that when you come with logic, you also have to come with some softness to it, some love and care behind it, right? I agree with that. The other part that I think that we are leaving off is, while we are asking you to come with more emotion behind it, we also have to come with more logic behind our emotion, because we cannot just function in emotion. Emotion will have you out here quitting jobs and you don't have no backup. Emotion will have you out here leaving happy, healthy relationships because in this moment I'm emotional. Emotional will have you making bad decisions because you act rashly instead of looking at all sides. So it's a balancing act from both sides. And let me be clear, just like a woman is in her emotion and a man is in his logic, it can be flipped. It could be the woman giving off all the logic and the man with all the emotion. You have to find the in between where both of you have some logic and emotion in there, so you can work together.
Well, that right there is the battle since the dawn of time.
It makes me understand women a lot more, because shout out to Q. I think he's the first one who instilled that into you, which you have instilled that into me. You said, like, you know, men work off of logic, women work off of emotion. And we're not saying fully, you know.
Yeah.
But we're just saying in general, more percentage, I guess.
For the most part, that's how we are wired.
That's how we are wired. And I see it in every relationship. And honestly, that's my problem in relationships. I lack sometimes emotion when I'm trying to make logic decisions. I'm like, no, you're not too, but I'm not doing it in a soft-spoken way, which turns the person off. Like, you don't have to say it like that, where it sounds like I'm commanding or telling them what to do, because I'm just trying to make logic of it. With no sense of emotion in it. No, not even a bit can be in there. And that's something I had to work on, you know?
Well, this is the journey of life, right? This is the journey of life. You know, we come in with these two different halves, and our journey and I believe our purpose is to become whole, right? So we come in, men come in with this masculine side, and that doesn't necessarily mean that all men have to come in with this masculine side. Whatever you come into the world with, or whatever you grow to learn and to adapt to. So say that you're a type of man who's masculine, and you come in with the full masculinity. I believe that the journey that elevates the soul is for you to find the balance between the masculine and the feminine, right? So a lot of the times people do that through relationships. They get in relationships that they allow them to, all right, learn that, hey, if you want to be in this relationship, you got to come with a little more emotion. You're the type of person that comes with all the masculine. You come into this relationship and you learn one way and another. You might lose that relationship to learn this lesson. But one way or another, I believe that the objective of this relationship or your life in general is to come to the complete full balance of masculine, feminine, yin and yang, man and female, man and woman, whatever it may be. So that's our thing. If we come into every situation with that, I believe that we can do so much better. We come to our partners with that understanding. We come to our jobs, our children, everything with that understanding. Hey, I might be coming at the situation a little too masculine. Let me find some way to adapt some feminine energy to this. Hey, I might be coming in a situation too feminine. Let me adapt some masculine energy into this. Let me adapt some emotion, some logic. And we come to that place where we can get that perfect balance, and then we are whole.
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. That's why a lot of men need to start tapping into their feminine energy. You know, go to a pride club. It's Pride Month. Nah, I'm kidding.
Whatever. There's so many avenues.
And women needs to tap into their masculine energy, and that brings me to the last clip.
Some need to tap out of it.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Y'all have a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
And the last clip is actually about ladies shooting their shot.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You shot your shot?
Oh yeah, she shot her shot.
Wait, sure did, Benny. Yes.
She shot her shot.
Wait, how'd you do? What'd you say?
The funny thing is, she had set it up for a long time. She had just won a pageant that year, Miss United States teen, and she was the host. I walk up there, she walks right over to me as soon as we get out the car. Brian DeVal Ellis. And I was just like,
Okay.
Damn, she fine. But I couldn't say that. So I was just like, what's up? I was like, what's up? Like, trying to be cool. And she was like, nothing, my name is Kadeen. And I was just like staring at her like, I can't believe she had a crown on and a banner. I was like, I can't believe this pageant queen talking to me. So I'm trying to be cool the whole time. And we spoke the whole event.
The whole night.
At the end of the event, I was like, okay, this is my moment. My uncle and my pops told me you can't be, thirsty. So I was going to hit her with it was nice meeting you. Walk away.
What is this voice?
This is in my mind. Everything is going in my mind. I was going to hit her with the walk away and turn around and be like, before you leave.
Girl.
Can I ask?
Like all 90s music video.
Stop. I'm trying to tell a story. You say you're going to tell a story. I'm trying to tell a story. And you stop me. This is my perspective now.
All right, go ahead.
Okay? So I was going to go like this and be like, before I leave, can I get your number? But I didn't get a chance to do that. Because I said, all right, it's nice to meet you. And she said, before you leave, since you don't want to ask nobody for my number, here. And then she got my program and wrote her number in the program. And then closed the program. And I was just like,
yeah, man. A lot of women don't want to hear that nowadays, but I'm telling you, man, no, they shoot their shot, but they shoot their shot at the guy that is being shot at a lot of times. Like, he's being shot down. Like, y'all go for a specific type that is necessarily everybody's type. And that's why you be in a lot of situations, connecting to all the clips that we show. A lot of women are in situations like that where, they're just an option versus you trying. And I get it. I mean, that's when we go into the whole idea of attraction, because some women is going to keep it real. I'm not attracted to this type of guy, but I think we need to, as people, and especially as women, because men do this, we find the beauty in sometimes potential than the actual idea of what it is.
Right.
I know a lot of men will do that.
For sure.
A lot of men will date a woman who does not have the most extravagant job or whatever like that.
The best looking body.
We will date down. A lot of men will do that. Like, but you don't see a lot of women doing that. And it's understandable because you have your type. But you'd be surprised, man. That can grow when you see certain people. Like, you put yourself in certain places. You can find somebody who's decent. Go to Comic-Con. You can find a nerd like myself. I'm taken, but
Yeah, I think why not? Why not shoot your shot? Why not shoot your shot? Like, I definitely think that it's more. It's not something that's so radical, that women should or men should be like blown away by it. But like, I do feel like men are more like the hunters. So it's more inclined for us to shoot the shot. It's more inclined for us to be the prey, and women are not so much that. But hey, this is what we were talking about before, the masculine and the feminine.
And
it doesn't really have to do with male and female. This is what we get twisted a lot. Masculine and feminine does not have to do with men and women. It's not specifically that. It's just two different type of energies. And I think that prey energy is a little more masculine. And I'm sorry, that predator energy is a little more masculine and that prey energy is a little more feminine. And if you're the woman who wants to be the predator tonight and you want to go, so to speak,
listen,
if you want to be the one to shoot your shot and you want to, hone into your masculine energy, maybe that fits for that situation. So go for it.
Are changing. Women are
becoming men?
Becoming more of the predator. In a sense, because of the whole idea of what a woman may make. Man, I've worked with a lot of women who make over, 6 figures and not over 6 figures, but
who make a lot of money.
Who make a lot of money, but you may be that woman who's making more than your man or making more than men, and that you're growing that masculine energy. Why not shoot your shot? Especially if you're finding yourself lonely, in which you hear for a lot of women who are independent and working, they're just like, they find themselves lonely because they put their time into working all the time, where they haven't really tapped into their quote unquote feminine energy. Not to say you can't have feminine energy and be a boss too, but I think women should definitely start shooting their shot, because the pendulum swings. The pendulum swings. A lot of men nowadays don't even want to approach women, because the whole idea of knowing that you may have a lot of followers or this options, and you have options. So it's just like, you know what? If she really likes me, she will come up to me. And I'm giving you the cue right now. I'm giving you a gem. Jules dropping a gem right now for you ladies. Do not think that the man doesn't like you because he doesn't approach you. He just sees now in this world of technology and with Instagram and stuff, he already expects. He has super expectation. Does that mean he's not confident? No, it means he's more logical. Because sometimes I be having that idea, you see a certain body and you're like, nah, it wouldn't happen. Not me now, but I got to throw that out there. Always throw it out there. But in the past, I've thought that, nah, especially if a man doesn't feel like he's necessarily financially there. He may look at a woman and feel like I'm not financially to get this girl. But you may be thinking totally different about that situation. You might be like, you know what? I really like this guy, so why not shoot your shot? That's my advice. Let it change. Right now, we don't want to be harassing women, and we feel like we're in a time in an age where you're harassing a woman if you walk up to her and say hello. So we're not doing it. That's why you hear a lot of women talking about how men don't approach them anymore. We're in a different age, so I think it's time for women to shoot their shot.
Shoot their shot. Shoot your shot. All right, man. This was a long, in-depth episode.
Was long, unexpectedly long episode,
we appreciate y'all staying with us this whole episode, man. It's love, love, love. We appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you follow. Make sure that you come the next 2 weeks and to watch the next episode.
And please leave a comment of any questions that you would like to ask us.
Yes.
If you're not leaving it in the comment below, then hit us up on the gram
or email
at the email makingmoves@gmail.com.
The Making Moves Podcast at gmail.com. You can send your off-road questions.
Or any social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all future platforms that will be out there.
All right, you can hit Melee or you can hit Jules. We'll definitely put your question in for the next episode, or hit the Making Moves Instagram page or all the social media pages. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate every single follower, every single listener, every single supporter that follows us along this journey, and we're so grateful. We got some very special things coming up within these next coming episodes, so stay tuned for that. All right,
Bless.
Appreciate y'all. Much love. Don't stand still.